Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the start of the week. We begin in France, Limoges, and Limoges Bellegarde Airport here in the middle of France for a Ryanair hop to the new inibuilds Leeds Bradford International Airport. We are in the pea soup. There's a lot of it around today, and we've got some pretty horrible weather at Leeds as well. This is a freeware Limoges. Quite impressive actually, quite nice, available on flightsim.to, a little regional airport, and we can start the GSX boarding to get that underway. We don't need the crew, we are the crew. Good afternoon to Badger, Martin as well, welcome, Dursey2, Carlito, Matthew F, welcome, David A, good morning to you, and Kryos. Good to see all of you guys with us today. We're back in the PMDG 737-800, my favourite in the sim at the moment. Has been for some time, and the last time was I think the 10th of December since we were last in this aircraft. My absolute favourite. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that seat as well. Actually, to be fair with this, it is a remarkable add-on, and this short hop of about 1 hour 30 block time actually will take us over to Leeds. We're going to check out the new inibuilds Leeds Airport and talk about its comparison against Orbx's version as well. My little kind of pre-note to this though, naturally, is if you already have Orbx Leeds Bradford Airport, V1 or V2, there's a big question of whether or not you need to actually buy the Orbx, the inibuilds version as well, because let's face it, we don't need two of the same airport. Version 2 Orbx for Leeds Bradford is actually pretty good in itself. So there is enough to suggest perhaps it's not necessary to purchase a second version of the same airport, but perhaps you don't have either. In which case, this will hopefully help you decide which one you might want to dabble in. Leeds, of course, very busy regional airport, quite a small airport, and basically enjoys frequent crosswinds as well, which we have today. Currently 18 knot crosswind, I believe. So we're going to get the punters on. If you caught yesterday's video on the channel as well, we've got Avimate installed, and it's a Chat GPT powered AI co-pilot assistant that we're going to use throughout the day. It's a special preview early access that we've got to be able to show you guys watching live, and if you are tuning in perhaps for the first time, hit like and subscribe, and if you're a regular, don't forget, of course, you know the drill, to press that thumbs up too. Good afternoon Aaron, Rob as well, great to see you. Lee JC, living on a player. Going to be a good little trip today. Let's see if Avimate says hello as well. Let's try it out just as a basic hello. Hello there.
Well, hello there. Always a welcome delight to be greeted by a fellow air aficionado. How may I assist you on this fine flying day?
Bingo. An air aficionado. What is the current visibility at Limoges Airport, France? Let's ask it some questions, shall we, folks, and interact with it live.
Visibility at Limoges Bellegarde Airport ICAO LFBL is currently a clear 9999 meters. Enough to spot a baguette from a mile off. Do you know anything else, my intrepid aviator?
To be fair, what's the METAR say at the moment? LFBL. 800 to 650 meters visibility, so it's a bit different, but oh well. An air aficionado, absolutely. British aficionado. Evil Ace, welcome. Doc, bonjour. Ça va? Lady Sophie as well, welcome. Swedish Moto, anyone else in the ATPL theory phase is asking there. Look at this, such a remarkable aircraft this is, isn't it? Love it. Trying to get a couple of screenshots today, and we're going to dive into the flight deck to chat about our route. Call sign today, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo. All of the pre-flight is done, including our takeoff bits as well. So I'm just going to run through a little bit of pre-flight landing dispatch. We'll go for flap 30. Max on, anti-ice off. We'll pull the weather in, see what it says. Jolly good. We'll turn the brightness up a little bit on that. So, Limoges Bellegarde at the minute, you can see there on the METAR, winds 240 at 5, but variable between 180 and 270 degrees. 300 metres visibility, down to 200 metres visibility. Runway 21 visual range is 1,000 metres, and runway 03's threshold visibility is 200 metres in fog. 3 degrees for the temperature, and dew point also 3 degrees. So that match gives us the fact that the air is basically fully saturated, hence the fog. So if you ever see 3 degrees and 3 or a match of temperature, outside air temperature and dew point, you can expect low visibility. If that said 5 degrees slash 3 degrees, then there would be a 2 degree spread. And if then the next METAR suggested 4 degrees slash 3 degrees, we could see that that spread is reducing, and therefore the visibility is likely to drop as well. So there's some ways there to get clues of what the weather's doing whilst you're en route perhaps. And the QNH 1029er, let's see what it says when we ask the Avimate though. What is the QNH at Limoges Airport? Andy, welcome to our good afternoon.
The current QNH at Limoges, Bellegarde Airport, IKO, LFBL, is 1030 HPA, and remember, H for hotel is used in radio communication to relay the current height above sea level. As for us, we're coasting at 1341 feet above sea level. Now, aren't you glad you asked? Anything else you'd like to know? Altitude aficionado?
So, this is still very much in development, this product that we've got to kind of play around with a little bit today. It's quite talkative. A lot of the comments from yesterday's video said that it's almost overly talkative, and there are some kind of rough edges to it, but it's still in development basically, and lots of tweaks are being made. When we're in the cruise, we will go through a couple of its upcoming features that they're working on as well. Things like personality settings. So we're going to be able to choose different characters that will offer us different levels of humour, different voices. It'll allow us to have stories told to us as well, and we can also potentially in the future we'll be able to vary the temper of Avimate as well using that Chat GPT. So we can make it a bit more cheeky, a bit more talkative, or perhaps just stick to the information that we want, and that's in development there. One of the other features that they're going to be doing is checklists, so we can upload our own checklists to Avimate and it will help us run through it as a talkative co-pilot, and we can then have perhaps Avimate talk through the checklist item. We can then set it, say that that's checked off, and then it will read the next one. But that's all in development, along with a few other bits as well. For today's journey, we've got a zero fuel weight of 57.3, cruise of flight level 320, and our gross weight for departure 64.9 tonnes, with an N1 for takeoff set to 1, with climb 2 on the climb out as well. For takeoff, runway 21, we're going to go on to the Ballon 3 Bravo departure, flaps 5 for takeoff, and we've got to set that takeoff trim to 566 once we get the engines fired up. 137 for the V1, rotating 138 knots, and V2 at 147. Add the 10, 157 is V2 plus 10, and the runway heading is 212 degrees, and initial climb to 7,000 feet. Auto brake set to RTO. And you can see there we've got runway 21, Ballon 3 Bravo departure, and we've cross-checked all the data in there as well. So if we look at the charts, we use the Navigraph kind of split screen for this. Initially runway heading 212 degrees up to at or above 1,800 feet, and then we're going to go direct to Bravo Lima 602. From there heading of 360 degrees to Ballon, initial climb clearance of flight level 70, before then climbing up through central France. Trying to see what we're passing there. So we've got Paris-Beauvais just there as well, and then routing over the edge just south of Calais, which I think is that there. Must be. Yeah, that would be Calais actually. Oh, there's Calais Dunkirk there. So just prior to getting to Calais, we're going to split off and head over the English Channel, and then over the South Kent coast. Pretty sure that little bit there is still Kent. routing over Detlings VOR to the east of London City Airport, Brookman's Park VOR, and then descending through the kind of Midlands area, passing East Midlands Airport, passing the Trent VOR to Denbigh, before then routing into Leeds. I pressed it. Hold on, that's New Sky. There we go. I've pressed charts again. Let's try that again. Anyway, hopefully you remember what I've just talked about. Anyway, so 1800 at or above, turning up to BL 602, and then that 360 degrees up to Balan, flight level 70. My Stream Deck is being a little bit funky, so I'll press it. It will say that it's displayed, but then it's not actually displaying anything. But I'll just show you guys that again with the channel crossing. London City's just there if I drop the pin. And then you can see they're routing over East Midlands Airport into Leeds. Leeds. Nice and simple though. For this we're going to have to backtrack on Charlie, or from Charlie backtrack to 1. It's going to give us some good separation between other aircraft as well, and then we can be on our way, which is due for about 10 minutes from now. So, aft fuel pump on, pressure light off, and APU starts. Make sure that seatbelt sign is on. Pressure panel set, 1300 for airfield elevation, cruiser 320. We've got POS lights on steady, logo lights on for now as well. All the hydraulics look good, and transponder set to 2000. Yeah, it's quite a cool little scenery this. I'll have to get rid of the GPU in a second. I'll have a quick look in here. Can't really see much because of the fog, and it obviously in Microsoft Flight Simulator it goes through the fog, through the buildings, but yeah, quite a nice little bit of freeware, isn't it, that we can use and enjoy, at least something we can download without costing us lots of money. Flight Adventures, welcome aboard, thanks for subscribing. Let's see if I've got the drone zoom set up nicely. It's about there, isn't it, roughly? Yeah. Alrighty, so we've got a custom GSX profile for today. I don't know if it's going to trigger a tug to appear. Icing warning. Do you request de-icing? Yeah. Why not? APU, we'll turn the gens on, and the centre tanks are empty, so 1 forward, 2 forward and aft, those pumps go on. Here comes the de-icer truck, both of them. We'll leave the anti-collision lights off for now. Skirt.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment. We begin treatment now and observe fluid type 1. Concentration at 50%. I will call you back when ready.
Dwell was asking, how do you know whether to select climb 1 or climb 2? It depends on the profile. If you've got a very steep climb, then you want to use climb 1, because it will then give you some more functionality, or it will give you a better rate of climb basically, and you'll use more power in that initial climb out. Climb 2 is a little bit more economical. Oh, Dirty 2, crikey, that's not good. Wheel chock's removed because we've got the park brake set, so we'll get rid of that. I think that should have disconnected that, and that should then zip off away elsewhere. We are over the hour as well, so I'm going to pull the latest METAR for LFBL. 1028. Decreasing visibility now, although the cloud base is lifted 100 foot. So 1028 for the QNH. We're going to leave APU bleed off for now, although we can bleed the APUs actually and just leave the packs off, to be fair, with the de-icing in progress. Yeah, it depends on how steep you want the climb, Dwal. Let's see what this says, charts. It's not really a very good example. Sometimes you'll get one that will say about charts, in the charts it will say the departure requires a climb out gradient of a certain percentage or certain foot per minute, and then you can work out if you want to use climb 2 or not. Quick wiggle of that. Okay, anti-collision lights on. They're all getting out of the way, and GPU's clear, so we are clear to start. Front, left, and right. Ground crew's over there. Got his headset covered up. Backs are off, isolation valves open, bleed on, we'll do cross bleed, 4 to start, and engine 2 ground. Monitor the N2. Limoges traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo, stand 2 Alpha, Boeing 737-800, QNH 1028, engine start. 320, fuel control to run. Darren, welcome. Well, it depends, Rab, because back in the summer I had about 6 things go wrong all at the same time, so well, I suppose it's 2 counts of 3, I guess you could probably argue, couldn't you? So init ref, I'm just going to go on to the takeoff ref page and set FMC2 to legs. That click suggests, there we go, engine 2 goes to off. We can pop it onto continuous and we'll go engine 1 ground. And then we monitor engine 1 start. We'll start the safety demonstration for Ryanair as well.
Welcome on board this Ryanair flight. May we have your attention while we point
because it's a very short taxi. Fuel control lever to run. Look at that, he's already disappearing, that Ryanair. So we can't actually see the threshold. So we can't see if anybody is down the bottom waiting to take off.
There are 4 main doors, 2 at the front of the cabin, 1 left and 1 right, and 2 at the rear of the cabin, 1 left and 1 right. There are 4 overwing exits in the centre of the cabin, 2 left and 2 right. Please note the nearest.
It's going to bring the range ring into 10, so we can monitor the turn a bit better.
Seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle. To secure, pull on the loose end of the strap, and to open, lift the buckle cover.
It's the Luke Airtool Captain 79, lukeairtool.net.
Individual oxygen masks will drop automatically from
Gen 1.
above your head. If this happens, remain seated. Pull down firmly on the mask to start the flow.
Probes are on.
Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Don't worry if the bag does not inflate. Oxygen is
those on.
To secure the mask, pull one end of the strap. Adults travelling with young children, please attend to your own mask first.
Tip you off.
Your life jacket is stowed in a pocket beneath your seat or in the panel above
Lap
your
5.
head. In the unlikely event of landing in water,
And we're going to do some control surface checks.
place it over your head. Bring the strap around your waist, clip at the front, and secure as the crew are now demonstrating. To inflate the life jacket, pull down sharply on the red toggle. There is a mouthpiece for
My hydraulic system B looks a little low on quantity, but the pressure's still good, and that's what we worry about as well. So that's all good. We've set that. We need to set 566 for the takeoff trim. Oop, wrong way. Spin the wheel.
Your captain invites you to read this card carefully before departure. Please now ensure that your seatbelt is
566.
Tray table is in the upright and locked position. Armrests down and
Brakes off.
open. We recommend for your comfort and safety that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout.
Limoges traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo, taxi to Hull Point Charlie by the apron, Limoges. Oh nav. DNAV. Auto thrust. Put the transponder on TARA for now. 19 knot crosswind at Leeds Bradford. Lovely. Derone in St. Louis, Missouri. Good morning. Someone from Tennessee earlier on as well, actually. I might have missed you. Sorry if I did. Welcome to you too. So we're going to hold here and we're going to wait for this aircraft to depart. At the hold, we'll go fuel flow, reset rates. Make sure the screen down there is turned off. James, welcome. And I'm going to change...
Limoges Tower, flying the 901 down there. Big Python 21.
Brakes set. Can you tell me a fact about Limoges Airport?
Ahoy, Andy. Did you know that Limoges, Bellegarde Airport, ICO, LFBL, sports a single asphalt runway? It measures a whopping 2493 meters in length. That's nearly 5 miles. Enough room to land a jumbo jet or perform an interpretive dance routine. Take your pick. Care to pick my propeller for more fun facts?
I'll wait to see when he... Here he comes, look at this! Oh my goodness! So he appears just in front of us, and then BAM! Vanishes. Oh my god! Oh, I love the weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator is fantastic. Limoges, traffic runner 41 Kilo Bravo, backtrack 21 at Charlie. Christ almighty. Strobes, strobe and steady for the post lights. Going to maximise visibility, whack all of the lights on now. Taxi lights obviously need to go off, however.
Gosh, that was hairy.
So, what have we got? 72121 57.
To Charlie 1 in sequence, and then for runway 21.
I love weather like this, it's really challenging. Nice textures on the runway here as well. YOLO into the pea soup, Matthew. I feel like I need some sort of graphical designer to make a t-shirt with something like that on there for days like today, streams like today. Traffic. Alrighty. We're all set. Limoges has the vibe, Aviation Simulation says. Doc says Ryanair is the king of Limoges. Aaron says, just discovered Yeager Airport in West Virginia yesterday. What a stunning approach that is. Yeah, we've done that a little while ago actually. We did it, I think maybe a year ago. Overdue an arrival into Yeager, because that is a fantastic airport with a beautiful approach, like you said. Quite a tricky approach as well actually, from memory, to be fair. About 3/4 of the way down the runway. Make sure I've got my charts ready. Boing, boing, boing. 1028. And because we're going into fog and cloud, if we have the cockpit environment quite bright with all the lights, then it could be quite blinding for us and quite distracting. So what we do instead is turn down the lights as much as we can, basically, as if we're flying at night. So we kind of get the cockpit set up as best as we can for that. We can do that as well. Snazzy snazzy. Oh, Andy, no, that was somewhere else. Where was that one? I forget. That was great fun though. First officer might have to keep an eye out for the edge of the taxiway here for us. Seems it leads us off that direction. Although we've got a centre line actually, which is quite handy. tiny little bit of the brakes just to slow us down. Limoges traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravos taking off runway 21 Ballon 3 Bravo departure Limoges. I can see a over-painted display threshold line there, which is a bit bizarre, so we'll use that as an indication to help line up. I'm going to get the control visualizer out for you guys as well, so you can see what control inputs we're making today. Get that nose wheel centered. My goodness, that visibility is horrendous. It's currently a 3-knot tailwind now, actually, apparently, and a 2-knot crosswind. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, set 40% M1. So I'll do one final check of the overhead, make sure I'm happy with the weather. Engines are good. Brakes off, toga. Not envisaging much of a crosswind, but I'll just see how we go in the takeoff roll here. Power set. 80 knots. Wow, this weather. It's like we're flying into, is it purgatory, where you don't follow the light? Rotate.
Low traffic, operating backtrack 2-1.
Gear up. My goodness, look at that. Woohoo! Into the soup we go. CMDA engage. Drop that. And airborne. What have we got here for some views, folks?
Limoges traffic, easy 2 Alpha. We're going to hold Charlie for backtrack on 2-1 after the departing aircraft. 2 Alpha.
Go through flap 1. Oh, look at this. Breakout through the clouds. Stunning. Oh. Those clouds look insane. Well, the fog rather looks insane, doesn't it? Limoges traffic, final call, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravos airborne, passing 4,000. We'll break off. Flaps up, no lights, gear levers off, runway turn off lights off, engine start mode, selector switches to the off position, wing lights can come off as well. And we'll monitor the climb outs. Wow, that's rather spectacular for visibility and the cloud and stuff below. Look at that, it's just stunning. Really, really cool. Let's keep climbing. 3, 2, 0.
Aircraft on backtrack, can you see anything? As far as visibility? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's not too bad once you get on the
It's under pressure.
runway, so it should be fine taking off. Yeah, cool.
So throughout the journey, we've got this Avimate thing running in the background. I can press the little keybind I've got set to activate the mic so it listens to us and we can get a response, aviation-related response, via its Chat GPT functionality. If you guys can think of anything that you might want to ask, we can discuss whether or not it's something that it can do or not. But I thought I'd be quite interested to actually play around with it live during the stream today. When we were talking earlier on just at the hold about checklists and a few other different features that they're looking to add in the future, they're also looking to have integration with third-party tools like the Luke Air tool. So you can ask it, like eventually in the future, you'll be able to ask Avimate to play the Ryanair safety demonstration and then it will pick that up and load it and play it for you, apparently. So that's some of the features they're looking to do there. And they're also looking at developing a transcript system for VATSIM ATC. So if you struggle to understand sometimes what they're saying, then it will be a function in the very long future, in the distant future, about it transcripting VATSIM ATC so you can see what is being said as well as hear it too. And in the future you'll be able to ask it to play your favourite music, and that way if you've got a Spotify account linked to Avimate, it will allow you then therefore to basically play your playlists from Spotify via Avimate while you're flying around in the sim, which is quite cool. Ibrahim says, I wonder if we could calculate top of descent for you using the formula. I'm not sure. We can ask. It probably not. I don't think that's actually been developed or tested, so we can certainly give it a go. Let's. I was just trying to think how to ask it that. If I'm flying at flight level 320, how far should my top of descent be? It might get confused by that. No. So basically I think if it doesn't know, it just ignores you. If I'm cruising at 32,000 feet altitude, how many miles do I need to descend at 300 knots to 3,000 feet? It's probably the way I'm asking the question, to be honest. But it's probably, this in development phase, probably a bit too advanced for that, Ibrahim. I can ask it like, where am I flying now? Where am I flying at the moment? Is it still running in the background? It is. Probably does need a lot more data. What's my current location? I'm going to exit it, hold on. Because I don't think it's working. So I'm just going to go back into it. What is my current location? Answer me!
You're currently in the vicinity of Poitiers, France, with the nearest airport being Poitiers-Biard Airport.
It might have gone inactive.
Lima, Foxtrot Bravo, India. Fancy a croissant, perhaps?
Right, let's ask it a top of descent question. The thing is, it needs speed and altitude, doesn't it? So it's just trying to work out how to factor that in. How would I calculate my top of descent if my cruise level is 32,000 feet?
The classic top of descent calculation.
Oh!
Top of descent, or TOD, is typically calculated by considering your altitude to lose and your descent rate. As a rule of thumb, if you want to descend at a standard rate of 3 degrees, you'd start your descent about 3 nautical miles out for every 1,000 feet you want to descend. In your case, if you're at 32,000 feet, FL 320, and you want to descend to an airport at sea level, you divide 32,000 by 1,000, which equals 32. then multiply that by 3, giving you 96 nautical miles.
Wow.
Keep in mind, real-world procedures might begin descent a little earlier to account for speed reduction or step descents.
Can you guys hear that
The rule of 3
okay?
is oversimplifying it, but works for quick calculations in your head. Does that shed some light on the matter, or would you like a more detailed explanation?
I don't think we need any more detail. Crikey! Okay, so because we hadn't used it for quite a few minutes, what it had done is it had gone inactive. But it worked. It actually answered that question as well. I would like more information. Let's see what it says then, Andy.
Sure, let's dig a bit deeper. The 3-degree descent path is not always applicable due to factors like wind, aircraft weight, ATC restrictions, and so on. An advanced method would be to use the ground speed, GS method. The GS method is considering your ground speed divided by 2, and that's how many nautical miles out you start your descent. The formula, TAS or 60, X, altitude to lose 1000, whereas TOD from target TS is true airspeed. If your ground speed is 420 knots, you divide it by 2, which equals 2 on 10. So start your descent 210 nautical miles out. Remember though, the further you are from your destination, the less accurate your GS calculation may be due to changing winds, etc. This isn't the end-all be-all method to calculate the TOD.
My
There
goodness.
are aircraft-specific performance charts, flight management systems, FMS, and ATC that could require different techniques. But as a quick mental math check, this method is quite useful. Does that answer your query? Or would you need more information on other useful methods?
I mean, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? That's gone into like complete info, like that's gone into like full information. What are you doing after work when we land? Let's try that.
Well, as a virtual assistant, I don't exactly clock off. I'm here 24/7. After we land, I'll probably assist another pilot on their journey. But if I did have off time, I'd probably give cloud surfing a try. Heard it's the latest rage in the flight simulator world. So, what else can I assist you with today?
It's quite neat, isn't it? It kind of fills that void of nothingness when you're flying along. And imagine maybe in about 6 months or so when they start to progress that. When and we add checklists in, and we can say, okay, what's my pre-takeoff checklist or something like that, and then they can say, right, this is this, this is that, and we can work through it. That's quite cool. So let's ask it a bit of information about Leeds Bradford. Can you tell me some information about Leeds Bradford Airport? Oh, Aussie SimGeek, hello, Skynet is alive and well.
Bradford Airport, also known as Leeds Bradford Airport, holds the ICAO code Echo Golf November Mike. It is nestled in the heartland of Yorkshire, in the United Kingdom. At an elevation of 681 feet, it boasts 2 asphalt runways. Runway 1432 is the longest, stretching 2,050 meters, making it a perfect spot for stretching your aircraft's legs. The airport is equipped with an ILS system on runway 32, so if the fog in Yorkshire gets a bit cheeky, you won't be stuck.
Cheeky fog.
The airport operates 24/7 and can handle both commercial and general aviation traffic. So whether you're delivering a plane full of Yorkshire tea or just flying in for some world-famous Yorkshire pudding, Bradford Airport has got you covered. Anything else you'd like to know?
What are the wind conditions at Leeds Bradford Airport?
Based on the most recent meter data, I'm afraid I couldn't find the specific wind conditions for Leeds Bradford Airport. Echo Golf November, Mike. However, I can help provide real-time meter data for it if you're set up for that. Shall we give it a whirl?
Yes.
Alright, hold on to your aviator glasses. We're getting the most recent METAR data for Leeds Bradford Airport. Echo Golf November, Mike.
Let's see what she comes up with, shall we? James, not yet. So currently I've got a male voice and a female voice. So I've got it set up to female because we tend to pay more attention that way. And in the future we'll be able to create, as I was saying earlier on at the hold, we'll be able to select from different different tempers, different humours, different voices, different storytelling modes, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if it will actually give us the METAR or not. I don't know how that works. Probably a feature that's not yet available at the moment, to be fair. Who knows? Ibrahim says, honestly, I'm still impressed how it answered the top of descent question. Impressive, isn't it? A hell of a lot of potential with this, and that's one of the main things, really. We've got to start thinking about the arrival, actually, into Leeds soon. That's why most sat-nav voices are female stock. Fun fact for you. It's an 18 knot crosswind and a 7 knot headwind at Leeds at the minute, runway 32. And our divert option is London Heathrow. So, bam. When we get to Leeds, we're going to fly to waypoint Denbigh, and then we're going to fly direct to our final approach. So we're going to try and establish at about 8 miles roughly, 2,300 feet, or even 3,000 feet actually by 9 miles actually, yeah, because we're category C aircraft. 3,000 metres by 9 DME level, and then 7.2 DME pitching down for a 3-degree glide path angle or descent angle down towards the threshold, with a minimums of 200 feet on the decision height, or 862 for the barrow altitude. And a transition level probably about 6.0 today, to be fair, and an airport elevation of 681, which we need to tune in as well. Runway conditions at Leeds, probably damp. Although that tailwind is incorrect. Although I think that's because the VAS airplane toolbox METAR thing is broken. 250 at 18. 250 at 18. QNH is 1012, I think, roughly. 34 degrees? Definitely not. It's 8 degrees. VAS airplane toolbox is so broken. We'll set wet. Flap 30, order brake max, as Doc's saying there, order brake max is most certainly requires. So I'll close VAS airplane toolbox. As I said, a lot of these features are still in development at the moment, and still a lot of tinkering to be done. A lot of features to be tweaked and all that sort of stuff as well. What was that airport elevation I've just mentioned? Okay, you know what, I can ask that Avimate. What is the airport elevation at Leeds Bradford Airport?
The elevation at Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, is approximately 681 feet above sea level. So it's not exactly Mount Everest, but every foot counts, right? Any other burning questions about this particular airfield?
What are the current wind conditions? Let's see what it says. I think I asked that a minute ago, didn't I?
Currently, you're experiencing a gentle breeze with a wind speed of approximately 220 knots at euro 8 degrees. Please secure your aviator cap accordingly. Anything else you'd like to know?
So I think that's giving us a readout there of that, but the wrong way around. But yeah, every inch counts, Andy. I picked up on that one as well. I thought, cheeky bugger. ILS32, we're not going to transition over LBA, and no stars either at Leeds. So we're going to work all the way across to this, Denbigh with a discontinuity, and we'll just attach the final approach to that. Denbigh at 7.5. I'm going to change that to 3 because I want to be level at 3 by that point. And that changes Denbigh just a few hundred feet there as well. In the descent forecasts tab, we've already got the transition level inputs and the current QNH, which we can check against EGNM. Our METAR commands in the live chat. QNH 1011. Ask her where to get good cuppa at the airport, or gin and tonic, whatever your poison is. Let's ask. When we arrive at Leeds Bradford Airport, where is best to get a cup of tea or a gin and tonic?
I see someone's looking for a post-flight treat. While I can't interact with the real world from the virtual cockpit, I can fly you through some suggestions. For a classic cup of Yorkshire tea, you might want to consider the Yorkshire Lounge in Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike. It's known for its homely atmosphere and excellent brews. As for your gin and tonic, I hear the Saltaire bar has quite the selection on offer. It's conveniently located within the airport, so you can toast to a successful landing. Now, while I can't promise these places will have your specific brand, they're certainly worth a try. Cheers to your flight. What's next on the agenda?
That is good, isn't it, Dirty 2? The carrot, you can, but ideally, if you're flying with Osprey, you are part of the virtual airline. Because that's the whole point of it. James, looking forward to the PMDG 777, but also looking forward to the MAX 8. What would be your favourite in-flight meal? Let's ask her that.
Oh, if I had the capacity to enjoy an in-flight meal, I imagine I'd be partial to cloud cones. A delightful scoop of fluffy cloud with a drizzle of rainbow syrup, served at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. But alas, being a virtual assistant does have its drawbacks. You, however, can enjoy a gastronomical journey. What's your go-to in-flight delicacy?
Ooh. Fillet of steak and mash and gravy on board a British Airways flight for me. We're having a conversation now, I think.
A classic choice, steak and mash with gravy. Very British indeed.
Oh my God.
Makes me wish I had a virtual dining hall. Now back to the business of flying. Do you need any further assistance with your flight?
I actually remembered my my comment back there as well. That's quite smart. Let's ask her about the ILS. What is the ILS frequency at Leeds Bradford for runway 32? Now this is a tough one. There's the clue on the charts for you.
The ILS frequency for runway 32 at Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, is 110. 90 mes. Now, don't forget to tune in. The tune just dropped. What other simmering queries can I assist with?
Ooh. What is the inbound course for Leeds Bradford runway 32 ILS? That's a very tough one. Don't know if it will be able to do that.
The inbound course for the ILS approach on runway 32 at Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, is 319 degrees.
Oh.
Now remember, stay on course
Close.
unless you're a fan of scenic detours. Anything else I can help with?
Leeds Bradford has a NDB at the airport. What is the frequency of that, please?
The non-directional beacon, NDB, at Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, operates at a frequency of 402 kh does. So tune in and follow the beeps. Anything else I can assist with? Perhaps some flight tips on NDB navigation?
Ooh. Yes, please. Give me those tips. What do you guys think so far? Ratchin says, ask her where the bits, fish and chips in the UK are.
The whirlwind venture. So buckle up. 1. Tune the ADF receiver. Start by tuning your automatic direction finder, ADF, to the NDB frequency. In this case, for Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, it's 402 kh. 2. Wait for the needle. The ADF needle on your instrument panel will swing around and point to the NDB. Basically, it's as if the needle is saying, hey, the NDB is that way. 3. Interpret the bearing. The ADF needle gives you the relative bearing to the station. That's the direction to the station from your current heading. If you maintain your current heading and the needle is pointing at 30 degrees to the right, the station is 30 degrees to your right. 4. Correct your heading. To fly directly to the NDB, you would turn your aircraft 30 degrees to the right. If you want to keep your current heading, you would note the relative bearing and check it periodically. If it changes, you're drifting off course. 5. Beware the cone of confusion. As you near the NDB, the ADF needle may swing wildly. This is known humorously as the cone of confusion. It's
Yeah,
normal.
it is.
Just keep on course and it will settle down as you pass over the NDB. 6. Homing versus tracking. Homing is steering to the NDB regardless of wind drift, which might not be your desired ground path. Tracking is adjusting your heading to correct for wind drift to maintain a desired track over ground.
My God.
Remember, NDBs are subject to disturbances that can cause the ADF needle to give false readings. Things like thunderstorms, mountainous terrain, and even the electrical systems of your own aircraft can cause disturbances. So those are the basics of navigating with an NDB. Ready to fly along the beeping trail? Or is there anything else you'd like to know?
That's remarkable. Someone was asking earlier on when is Avimate being released, and I don't actually have the answer to that question, frustratingly. So I don't know. It's in development still, very much in development still. That's 100, isn't it, for Barrow? No, actually it's Rad we want. Joffinek. Which is there in the Ryanair livery. Up there. Oh yeah. When is Avimate going to be released? I don't think it would know the answer to that question, because I've got it, so it might think it's already out, if that makes sense. But there are also other products called Avimate. I think they'll ignore that question. Jelly, hello to you. So can't wait for the A220, the A350 and the 777. What is the landing speed for a Boeing 737-800?
The typical approach speed of a Boeing 737-800, while flaps are at full 40 degrees configuration, is about 140 knots. However, keep in mind that actual landing speed can vary significantly depending on aircraft weight, wind conditions, and other factors. So I'm afraid I don't find the best speed for your specific conditions. I'd recommend flicking through your trusty aircraft operating manual.
There you go.
Always a riveting read in the cruise. Shall we dive into more details, or is there something else you're curious about? Have information on upcoming software releases, including Avimate? I suggest keeping an eye on the official website or relevant flight simulation forums for any news. In the meantime, why don't we soar back to any aviation
It's
queries
just
you might
answered
have?
that other question for us as well. No current release date. Monitor the forums. Maximum fuel estimated landing weight 60.8. I'll round it to 61. About 31.43. So that's pretty much bang on as well with how it was just describing that. Yeah. So that's a good point that Doc is making as well. With Avimate, when it does release, avimate.io, I put the link in the live chat a little while ago for the Discord server as well for it. I'll put it back in the live chat if you guys want it. Where has it gone? There we go. Yeah, there's a free version and a payware version, and I've got Avimate Pro, which is the payware version. Gives you unlimited use and a load of other stuff. There you go. The free version comes with Chat GPT-3, which has 2022 data in it, whereas the Pro version has Chat GPT-4 inside of it. So a completely different data set, actually, to be fair. Let's ask it a random question, actually, about PMDG, perhaps, or Fenix Sim. What's PMDG stand for? Precision Manual Development Group, isn't it? Can you tell me some information about PMDG within flight simulation?
PMDG, or Precision Manuals Development Group, is a well-respected and renowned developer within the flight simulation community.
Well, hey.
They've been creating high-quality, highly realistic add-on aircraft for flight simulators for quite some time now. Known for their impeccable attention to detail, they offer a range of aircraft from the workhorse Boeing 737 NG series to the mighty 747 and the modern 777. Their aircraft are packed full of features,
Rob.
including fully functional cockpits, complex system
I will.
simulations, and realistic visual models. They have been largely responsible for the immense increase in reality levels in the flight sim world over the last decade. A PMDG aircraft isn't just a simple add-on, it's an entire aircraft simulation, tailor-made for those looking for the most realistic experience possible. But hey, be ready to read those instruction manuals. They're not called precision manuals for no reason.
What
They're
a beautiful
filled with
description of
hundreds of pages of
PMDG.
information to help you master every beeping button and flashing light in the cockpit. Fancy a virtual flight in one of these meticulously designed aircrafts? Or perhaps there's something else you'd like to know.
That's a wonderful explanation of PMDG, isn't it? Honeycomb Aeronautical has been in flight sim news recently. Is it in trouble, and where are the Honeycomb Charlie rudder pedals? Let's ask that. Cheeky!
Well, my dear aviator, Honeycomb Aeronautical has indeed been a talking point in the flight sim community, but not for being in trouble. Instead, for their innovative flight simulation products. As for the much anticipated
Touché.
Honeycomb Charlie rudder pedals, they're currently in development. The release date? Now that's a mystery even I can't solve. I recommend keeping an eye on Honeycomb Aeronautical's official announcements for the most accurate information. In the meantime, shall we circle back to your flight?
So the Pro version gives us unlimited use. If you wanted to use Avimate free, it allows you to interact for 60 minutes using the older Chat GPT-3. Let's ask her about British AvGeek, Andy. I like that one. That's a clever one, actually. Top marks, hat tip to Andy. Can you tell me about British AvGeek?
Ah, an interesting mix-up. Do you mean British Airways, which is one of the world's leading airlines, or Afghanistan, a country with its own rich aviation
Afghanistan, what
history?
the?
Or perhaps the Afghan Hound, although I'll
What
admit
the?
that's not quite as relevant to our airborne pursuits. Can you give me a bit more context so I can provide the most fitting fun facts?
Tell me about the British AvGeek YouTube channel. That's a bit more specific, isn't it?
The British AvGeek is a YouTube channel dedicated to sharing the joys and wonders of aviation. The content ranges from flight simulation reviews and tutorials to real-world aviation events and aircraft spotlights. The creator brings a lovely mix of enthusiasm and knowledge, making it a worthwhile stop for both established AvGeeks and those just beginning their aviation journey. It's like a virtual air show that never ends.
It
Who
is.
doesn't love that? Now, ready for some more virtual flying, or do you have any other questions?
There you go. Aussie SimGeek says she's being paid off by Snakebite. Paid off and silenced by Snakebite. The joys and wonders. I think so, Rob. It's got me blushing. Naughty. Can you tell me about Osprey Airways? Bassman, the link for their Discord is in the
Osprey
description
Airways, you
further
say?
up.
Can't say that's a name that's flown across my radar before. Perhaps there's been some turbulence in my database. You might have more luck checking out aviation forums or the airline's official website, if they have one. If you met another airline or if there's something else you're curious
Maybe we need to say
about,
virtual.
feel free to wing it my way.
Can you tell me about Osprey Airways virtual airline for flight simulation? That's a bit more specific.
Osprey Airways, within the context of flight simulation, is likely a virtual airline. Virtual airlines are organizations that emulate real-world airline operations. Unfortunately, my data doesn't include specific information on Osprey Airways. However, many virtual airlines provide structured flying experiences.
This is so
complete with
impressive.
hubs, routes, and fleet just like a real-world airline. Some even have their own training programs. You may want to check Flight Sim forums or the Osprey Airways official site, if available.
Heck
for
yeah,
more specific
BritishAvGeek.com.
information. Shall we get back to your flight, or is there something else you're curious
So we can
about?
throw a lot of questions at this actually, and it's quite dynamic, and there's a lot of information that we can glean from it as well. And naturally, as the Chat GPT-4 database within Avimate expands, and learns more and gets more depth of information, that then therefore should expand the answers available to us as well. So the possibilities are huge with this. They have got a Discord website. I've put it in the live chat. Can you teach her something she doesn't know yet? I don't know actually how that would work. What could I teach her? Should we ask? Who will win the US presidential election?
Even though my code is complex, it sadly lacks the ability to predict future political events. Plus,
Tell her
I
about your
promise to
airline.
stick to
Yeah, I could do,
aviation, not
Steve.
divination. So how about we steer this conversation back to the skies? Any flight-related queries on your mind?
Can I teach you something about aviation for your database?
Well, isn't this a twist? As a virtual assistant, my learning capabilities are a bit different from humans. My knowledge and capabilities are updated through coding and data inputs by my developers. While I appreciate the offer, I'm afraid I can't directly learn from our interactions. But I'm here to provide what information
Probably
I
a
can
good
for you.
thing.
Now, ready to continue with our flight simulation, or do you have another question?
I suppose if you were able to teach her something, or it something, then that would end up getting a bit far-fetched and a bit crazy quite quickly, wouldn't it? Once we start feeding in spoof data and things like that. So, yeah, pretty cool. Dwal says, I can't wait for Luke to change the voice, although I think he quite likes this American font of all Avsim knowledge. I like the tone of voice, really. So the feature of this is more of an aviation focus, which allows us to kind of glean information about our flights and all the rest of it. Once we start, as we've seen today, to deviate away from that a little bit, then Avimate steers us back on track again. What is your favourite passenger aircraft? Boy Koa, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh, the pang of a question I can't personally answer. As a virtual flight assistant, I don't have personal favorites. However, I'm programmed to know quite a lot about many passenger aircraft. Is there a specific one you'd like to learn more about?
Ooh, my
Or
favourite.
perhaps you'd like me to compare a few.
Tell me about the wonderful Boeing 757-200.
The Boeing 757-200 is truly a marvel of modern aviation.
Damn straight it
She's
is.
a medium-range, narrow-body twin jet that first took to the skies back in the 1980s. Designed to replace the Boeing 727, the 757-200 has been gracing skies around the world for several decades now. She boasts a range of about 30,900 to 4,500 nautical miles, depending on the specific version and configuration. With a typical seating capacity of around 200 passengers, she's quite a workhorse for many airlines. Notable for her performance and efficiency, the 757-200 features Rolls-Royce RB211 or Pratt & Whitney PW2000 engines. And let's not forget that distinctive nose. One could say it makes her quite the noseworthy aircraft. Fun fact, you may also come across the 757-200 in its combi version, which is designed to carry both passengers and cargo on the main deck. So there you have it, a glimpse into the wonders of the Boeing 757-200.
Jolly good.
Ready for a virtual
Hi,
flight on
Mike.
board this iconic bird,
Welcome.
or is there something else
Peter
that's
as well,
piqued your
you too.
curiosity?
Pretty sweet, right? A lot of potential. We could ask her about Ryanair, Andy. Yeah, why not? Can you tell me some interesting information or facts about Ryanair Airlines? No pricing information yet, MX. It's still in development, but they said it's going to hopefully be a couple of
Sure.
pounds a month,
Fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff.
and that will
on board
pay
Ryanair.
effectively for the tokens that we're using every
Ryanair
time
is
we are
one of the
chatting
largest
to Chat
airlines in
GPT.
Europe and notably the pioneer of budget air travel on the continent. It was founded in 1984 by the Ryan family.
My current
hence
Mac
the
number
name.
71.
With its main base at Dublin Airport, Ryanair operates over 1,800 flights daily and connects more than 200 destinations in 40 countries. Quite the globetrotter, isn't it? One of the unique things about Ryanair is its business model, widely known as the no-frills model. They offer inexpensive flights and charge for additional services like checked
Canadian,
luggage,
not really.
seat assignments.
It's running in the
and even
background
meals.
as like a separate program,
It's sort of like an a la carte menu,
but it's
for an airline,
monitoring our location
Ryanair's
as well.
fleet consists entirely
in
of
the sim.
Boeing 737 aircraft, and they're enormous fans of the Boeing 737-800.
We'll ask it what my speed is.
That's their aircraft of choice, and they operated over 400 of them at one point. Fun fact, their safety record is quite remarkable, with no fatal accidents in their operational history. However, be prepared for a tight squeeze. Their aircraft are known for offering a bit less legroom than some carriers. But hey, who needs to stretch out when you're saving money, right? I hope this gives you some insights into Ryanair. Can I assist with another inquisitive inquiry?
Good morning, Canadian Flight Simmer. What is my current MAC number? Mark.
Your current Mach number, or speed relative to the speed of sound, is 0.77. Remember, Mach 1 would be the speed of sound, so you're going at a snappy pace, just like a hare in a high-altitude race. Any other questions or requests?
Oh, that's a poem. I mean, I really loved that little kind of write-up or explanation as to who/what PMDG was. So I think that was quite nice. Quite a good little summary, actually, of how good PMDG is. We've still got a little way to go. We're actually leaving French airspace soon, but we don't have any ATC online at Leeds. Lots of fluffy clouds around us, though. I fear that it will say something positive about Captain Scum, Andy. That's the problem. Grab, nice. Oh, yeah, we can. We can ask her about. So we just asked her about our Mach number. We are flying at that speed at the moment, I think. We can ask it altitude as well, but at the minute, the version that I've got that's in development, it will give us a decimal number, so it will say about however many. What are we at now? 32,000.23 feet or something, roughly. Let's try anyway. What's our current altitude?
You're currently cruising at an altitude of 32,000 feet, high enough to wave at the astronauts.
There we go.
What's next, Commander?
Tell me about Concorde.
You're asking about the Concorde, the shining star of the aviation world.
I can, well, I'll
This
do that next.
supersonic passenger airliner was a marvel of aviation engineering. Co-developed by the British and French, it first took off in 1969 and could whisk passengers from New York to London in under 3. 5 hours at speeds that would make a cheetah blush, over twice the speed of sound, or Mach 2. One of its most iconic features was its droop snoot, a nose that could lower to improve pilots' visibility during takeoff and landing. Passengers were often treated to the sight of a slight curve in the aircraft's fuselage, a result of the heat generated by supersonic flight. However, its thirst for fuel, sonic boom, and high operating costs led to a small number of aircraft built, just 14 that entered service. Its final flight was in 2003, but even today, the Concorde remains a symbol of human ingenuity in the skies. Shall we discuss more on this exhibit of aeronautical extravaganza, or is there something else you'd like to explore?
It's a product in development, boy, that uses Chat GPT. What are my suitable airports currently for an emergency landing?
Based on your current position, here are some nearby airports where you could potentially perform an emergency landing. 1. Verneuil Airport, ICO code Lima Foxtrot Alpha Victor, is approximately 7 kilometers to your south. 2. Saint-André de la Airport, ICAO code Lima Foxtrot Alpha Sierra, is about 17 kilometers to your south. 3. Évreux-Fauville Air Base, ICAO code Lima Foxtrot Alpha Victor, is roughly 31 kilometers to the south. Please consult your charts and consider factors such as runway length, aircraft type, and current weather conditions when deciding on the best airport for an emergency landing. Remember, safety first.
Crikey.
Any additional assistance you need,
There you go. So if something did happen, I did it on the video yesterday actually, where I asked what my nearest airport would be and how to get there, and it would give us a bearing to that. So I could say I need a direction to my nearest airport.
based on your current heading of 351 degrees, to reach your nearest airport option, Vernouillet Airport, Lima Foxtrot Alpha Victor, you should adjust your heading to approximately 186 degrees. Remember, these are approximate figures, so keep an eye on your navigation instruments for the most accurate path. Shall we continue on this new course, or would you like assistance with anything else?
Flight team, welcome. Luke, do you or anyone in the chat or Avimate have a solution to me losing tiller and brake control following a cockpit pan whilst taxiing? I think that's the Microsoft Flight Simulator looking around bug, isn't it? So you just have to kind of click and turn it around once again, like move the camera a bit more, and then let go, and then you should be able to move your tiller. I've had it a few times. It's a really annoying bug, I think since Sim Update 5, if it's a similar thing to what I've been experiencing recently. Yeah, really good, Mike, actually. That's a great point. It would be an incredible tool for visually impaired simmers, just to give you a bit more situational awareness. And we could ask it for like the VOR for, is that Lid? I think it is, isn't it? Or Biggin Hill. What's the frequency for Biggin Hill's VOR?
If you're trying to indicate a heading or destination, I need a bit more information. Are you looking to navigate to a specific airport, VOR, or maybe a particular point of interest? Let's keep this bird flying in the right direction.
Maybe I didn't ask it the right question. What is the VOR frequency at Biggin Hill Airport? Airport aerodrome, should be aerodrome. It's all the way over there.
The VHF omnidirectional range, VOR frequency for Biggin Hill Airport, ICAO code Echo Golf Kilo Bravo, is 115. Don't mix it up with your favorite radio station.
115.10.
Anything else to assist with?
MH said. But yeah, 115.1. Smashing. Will we see hydrogen-fueled aircraft? I don't know if we'll be able to answer that. Let's ask anyway. Will we ever see hydrogen-fueled aircraft in the future? Roy, good afternoon. It all sounds very promising.
Absolutely. Hydrogen fuel is a strong contender in the quest for sustainable aviation. Unlike traditional fossil fuels, when you burn hydrogen, the only byproduct is water. How refreshing. Several aviation giants and startups are currently exploring and developing hydrogen-fueled planes.
Jeez.
Airbus, for instance, has embarked on a project called Zero, aiming at launching a zero-emission hydrogen-powered aircraft by 2035. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket, instead experimenting with 3 different aircraft designs to see which one flies. Like any fuel switch, there are challenges to overcome, like the storage and distribution of hydrogen and adapting current aircraft designs. But if successful, it would pave the way for a greener future in aviation. So in the flight sim world, who knows? You might be virtually flying a hydrogen-fueled bird sooner than you think. Take that, greenhouse gases. Fancy exploring more about the future of aviation?
4025.
Or shall we return to the present flight?
Canadian Flight Sim says this program is really cool. A lot of tweaking and a lot of development still to go with it. So it's exciting to see the current state of what it is as well. I think it'd be quite interesting to see how this progresses. Roy says, can you ask her what she thinks about the one pilot development? What Do you mean the Airbus One Pilot program? Tell me a bit about electric aircraft development.
Electric aircraft development is on a steep climb, pun intended. There's been a surge of interest in electric propulsion in aviation, driven by factors like
keep smashing that like button, folks,
emissions and operating costs. Two types of electric aircraft are currently in development: battery electric aircraft, which run solely on batteries, and hybrid electric aircraft, which use a combination of fuel and electric power. Battery electric aircraft are great for short hops due to current battery limitations. A pioneer in this space is the Pipistrel Alpha Electro, a two-seater all-electric aircraft. Its cousin, the Velis Electro, even received certification from the European Union Aviation Safety Agency in 2020. Hybrid electric aircraft are seeing strides as well. The most ambitious is the Airbus E-Fan X, a regional aircraft that's replacing one of its 4 jet engines with an electric motor. But it doesn't stop there. Big names like Boeing and NASA are also investing in electric tech. Even Rolls-Royce is joining the party with their Axel project, aiming to build the world's fastest electric airplane. Though in its infancy, electric aviation has the potential to revolutionize the industry. However, there are still challenges to overcome, such as increasing energy density of batteries, managing heat, and establishing new safety regulations.
I don't think I want to try that though.
So while we might not be seeing a fully electric
there's
A380
Blighty
just yet,
underneath.
the future of aviation certainly seems to be heading towards a greener, more electrifying horizon.
No, it can't do
Now, how
that,
about we
Tim.
get back to our flight?
What do you think about the Airbus One Pilot program development? I don't know how to ask that question.
The Airbus single pilot program
Oh,
is
wow.
indeed a fascinating development in aviation. They are working on technology that would enable large commercial jetliners to be flown by a single pilot or, in some cases, fully autonomous.
There you go, Roy.
The goal is to reduce operating costs and address
Crikey.
potential pilot shortages. However, it has sparked quite a bit of debate in the industry regarding safety and passenger acceptance. It's a bit like having only one captain on a ship. It could work, but it might make for a nervous crew. The program is still in the early stages, and we'll have to wait to see how it evolves. Any other developments in the aviation industry you're curious about?
That's pretty sweet. Ashton, good afternoon. Passengers won't accept it. Correct, Rab, I won't. I personally wouldn't be that comfortable about knowing there's one pilot on his own up front. Unless he wants me sat next to him. Or her. Okay, so 80 miles to top of descent. Have we got any questions that you guys want me to ask Avimate about Leeds and the approach that we might be doing, or the runway conditions, stuff like that? I can start to ask it questions about that if we want to. Night Shadow says, cheers from across the pond, good morning. Looking for help, reinstalled Microsoft Flight Simulator, got an error message saying need to install disk. Have you gone on to Xbox, the Xbox program on your PC, logged out and logged back in again? I don't know if it will know the go-around procedure, Ashton, because it can't see my charts. Let's ask anyway. What's the go-around procedure for a ILS approach runway 32 at Leeds Bradford Airport? Should be climb straight ahead 2000, climb turn right, return to lock centre at 3000. Let's see what it says.
The go-around procedure from an ILS approach on runway 32 at Leeds Bradford Airport ICAO code Echo Golf November Mike is typically as follows. 1. Apply full power or tow gay power and start to climb straight ahead. 2. Retract flaps to go around setting and maintain ref approach speed.
Wow.
3. At 500 feet above airport elevation, turn right onto a heading of 338 degrees. 4. Climb to 3,000 feet. This is your go-around altitude. 5. Maintain this heading and altitude until ATC provides further instructions. Remember, this is a standard procedure, and actual procedures can vary based on ATC instructions or aircraft performance.
So it hasn't got the
Always consult your
specific
charts and
charts,
aircraft performance manual for
but
specific details.
it's
Ready
got
to fly down this
318,
approach like a pro.
so it's got
Or
runway
is there
heading
something else you'd like to know?
up to 3000, and that's correct. It just hasn't got the specifics of climbing turn right to lock centre and hold, and all that. Question for Aviation: which is the most often used diversion airport if the weather is poor at Leeds Bradford? Which is the most often used diversion airport if the weather is poor at Leeds Bradford Airport? But it would need access to Jefferson Roy, which it doesn't have.
Sheffield City Airport, ICO code Echo Golf Sierra Yankee, is often utilized as a diversion airport when the weather goes south at Leeds Bradford Airport. Remember though, the airport's suitability depends on the type and size of your aircraft, as well as current conditions at the diversion airport. Any other queries, or should we continue with our virtual flight?
That sounds like a diversion for small aircraft. What are the most often used diversion airports for airliners if the weather is poor at Leeds Bradford Airport? Bit more specific. Crikey, look at that weather, folks.
The most often used diversion airports for
In the
Leeds
chat.
Bradford Airport, Echo Golf. November Mike, when the weather gets a bit too British, are 1. Manchester Airport.
Bam.
ICAO code Echo Golf Charlie Charlie.
There you go, Tim.
Located approximately
Manchester.
57 nautical miles to the
It got that right.
southwest. 2. Doncaster Sheffield Airport. ICAO
Donny.
code Echo Golf Delta November. Roughly 45 nautical miles to the southeast. 3. Liverpool John Lennon Airport. ICAO code Echo
Liverpool.
Golf Papa. Around 59 nautical miles to the west. 4. East Midlands Airport. ICAO code Echo Golf November X-ray.
Jeez, how
Nearly
many is it
60
going to give me?
nautical miles to the southeast. Remember, diversion decisions depend on many factors including air traffic, the specific weather event, and the
Never
capabilities
dock.
of each individual aircraft. Or as I like to say, it's all part of the exciting tapestry of aviation. Is there anything else I can assist
There you
you
go.
with today?
They got Manchester right, and then it got, what was the other ones? Doncaster, Liverpool, and East Midlands. That's really neat. So yeah, the current METAR at Leeds Bradford as of 1350Z, so half an hour ago now, winds 250 degrees at 18 knots, gusting 29 knots. All the 9s for visibility though, bizarrely, but in light drizzle, scattered cloud 1,600 feet, broken cloud 2,200 feet, temperatures 9 degrees, dew point plus 6 degrees, QNH 1011. So wind correction, I'm going to change to plus 10 here because of the crosswinds and the gusts. That could be quite dangerous. So we'll add an extra 5 knot buffer for that. What information about Heathrow, Rab? Colin Wolf, no worries at all. Great to hear, buddy. Thanks for the guides, he says. I've been helping him with the 737. How busy is London Heathrow Airport at the moment?
London Heathrow Airport, ICAO code Echo Golf Lima Lima, is generally one of the busiest airports in the world. However, as a virtual assistant, I don't have real-time data feeds to provide the current traffic situation at the airport. I recommend checking with the official airport website or air traffic services for the most up-to-date information.
Chris,
They say an
unfortunately
airport is the
not.
only place where you can see a plane queue. Is there anything else aviation-related you would like to know?
Ah, right, yeah, true. I forgot about Beyond ATC. That is AI powered as well, isn't it? That, I mean, we did a video on that a little while ago, a preview video of it, but weirdly enough, it kind of, it was near to release, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And I get they're trying to perhaps give us a little bit more features, some more features and all that kind of stuff inside of that, but yeah. How many flights per day operate in and out of Heathrow Airport? $40 miles to top of descent.
Heathrow Airport, Echo Golf Lima Lima,
Quarter brake max.
operates around 1,300 flights per day under normal circumstances. It's a bustling hub, akin to a metropolitan city that
There you
never
are.
sleeps, but in the form of an airport. However, please bear in mind that actual numbers can fluctuate due to factors like weather, operational issues, and global events. Checking with Heathrow's official sources would provide the most accurate daily count. Now, shall we dig into more airport stats, or perhaps there's something else you'd like to explore?
Yeah, Dwyer, you make a good point there. Of course, it's not true AI. It's they're reacting based on how they've been coded. So beyond ATC, say intentions, which is another product somebody else mentioned a little while ago, which I've not tried, and then this Avimate or Avimate, all rely on the coding basically. I should have really turned the seatbelt signs off, but hey ho. Ryanair, surprised they, sure they probably didn't even bother fastening them in the first place. Right. Fair enough, Roy. Good stuff. Yeah, when we started previewing it was about 6 months ago now. It was a little bit longer. It seemed like it was coming up quite close. Brooks Park down below, so we've gone past London. Complete sheet of cloud over us at the moment. We'll be descending through that very soon. David says he was just watching a documentary on Atlanta Airport, world's busiest. There are 250 flights per hour, and it's an amazingly complex operational there. My goodness, that's pretty intense, isn't it? A lot of ATC online, but none for Leeds. What is the QNH at Leeds Bradford Airport? Now I don't know what METAR system it uses. It should be 1011, but I don't know. It depends on what METAR program it's using.
The most recent meter data available for Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, does not specify the QNH. Usually the QNH would be represented in the META report after Q1000. Alas, I can't state conclusively that it is 1011. Best to treat my words as a weather vane and always cross-check with official sources.
So it knows it's 1011 or 1011 hectopascals, but it can't completely verify it. So it suggested that it might be that, but then had the caveat of, but I can't guarantee that answer, so I can't commit to it, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it gets its data source from for the METAR then, actually. Tim, so I have to press a push to talk button, which you can configure to either your hardware, like your throttle yoke or whatever on a button. For me, it's the / on my keyboard that I've configured it to. When you open the program to begin with, you can either choose X-Plane or you can choose Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's compatible with X-Plane 11 and 12 and MSFS, and it basically just sits in the background until you press the push to talk button that you've configured for the software, and then it'll activate the mic and it will then begin to listen to you. Pretty neat though. I'm going to go LBA for a fix. Leeds. And we'll go for 10. And we'll go for 4. $3,000. So we'll aim for a continuous descent to 3. Descend now. We've got 10 miles to top of descent, so we're just going to activate it now, see what it does. Roy, not at the moment, no. It's a feature they're looking to integrate in the future. We were talking about it a little while ago. They're looking to give you the ability to upload checklists to the system for it to then read out, and then it can work through the checklists with you, which is quite a cool little feature. Night Shadow, yeah, Avimate. It's a Chat GPT-4 powered co-pilot for us, basically. The free version will be quite limited. It will be Avimate Lite, and then there's Avimate Pro, which uses Chat GPT-4. What does it say on their website? Let me see, hold on. Avimate.io. No usage limits, voice selection by 11 labs, simulator environment awareness. It can find all the airfields, rivers, mountains, lakes, towns and VOR DMEs in your flight sim, all within a 100 nautical mile radius of our current position. We can discover interesting facts about the landscape below, including historical and cultural trivia. Gives us ATC awareness about whether or not an airport is controlled or uncontrolled. So instead of having to look up on the internet whilst flying, we can get the answer from Avimate instead. And we can get information like aviation facts and aviation related trivia. We can get the current QNH or winds. We can get detail about the weather from Avimate, and it remembers and recalls our previous journeys for a tailored experience as well. Can you tell me some facts about the area we are flying over at the moment? Probably doesn't know where we are, because we haven't specified. What is my current location? I feel like it's kind of got a bit stuck again. Afternoon, David. Yeah, probably there are too many clouds I can't see. Tell me some facts about the city of Leeds. Queued 3 now. Might have to restart it. Yeah, I'll restart it. What I'll do is I'll use the male voice now. The kind of the two voices that I've got in this preview version. We'll give her a rest.
Hello there, Captain. Ready to rule the skies, are we?
There we are. It's a little bit more annoying. I prefer the female voice. Tell me some facts about Leeds.
Bedford traffic, Golf Charlie Foxtrot in Zulu, Cessna 172, GFR flight from Nottingham.
Well, butter my biscuits and call me a pancake. I think there might be a slight misunderstanding. I'm your trusty flight assistant, Captain Propeller, and my area of expertise is aviation. If you're looking for information on Leeds, in the context of flights, navigation, or aviation history, I'm your captain. But if you're asking about lead as in the metal, or leads in sales or electricity, you might be better off chatting with a metallurgist, a salesman, or an electrician. Can I assist you with anything flight related?
Tell me about the city of Leeds.
Oh, Leeds. A thriving city in West Yorkshire, England. It's known for its rich industrial history, hosting a diverse economy in sectors like finance, higher education, and healthcare. But alas, I'm Captain Propeller, your wingman in the skies, and not a city tour guide. If you're looking to navigate there by air, the Leeds Bradford Airport, ICAO Echo Golf November Mike, EGNM, is your best bet. But I'm afraid I can't recommend a good fish and chips place.
Who asked about fish and chips earlier? That's weird. what are the current wind conditions at Leeds Bradford Airport?
Based on our most recent meter data, I can't provide the exact wind conditions for Leeds Bradford Airport. Echo Golf November.
It sounds like
Mike,
it doesn't have
EGNM. However, I can recommend keeping a close watch on
Met
the meter
up to date.
updates for accurate information. After all, good pilots always keep an eye on the skies and the meter. Any other aviation-related queries you need a helping hand with, Skipper?
Let's ask about the METAR then. What's the current METAR at Leeds Bradford Airport? We're proper stress testing this.
The most current METAR data for Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, EGNM, is unavailable in our most recent data. Please check your local
it's not
aviation
in their
weather
data.
source for real-time updates.
Fair enough.
Remember, flying without checking the meter can be like a bird trying to fly without wings. Somewhat challenging. Can I help with anything else, Skipper?
I prefer the female voice. I'm gonna get the lady back. What have you done with her?
Hello there, Captain. Ready to rule the skies, are we?
Hell yeah, welcome back. Right, so we'll get a bit closer. In fact, Ivan, I think one of the staff members, has said she only knows about 50 kilometres from the current position. So there we go, that explains that a little bit then. Once it develops a bit further and we get more voices, then we should be able to get kind of a British voice and some more kind of accents as well, I would imagine, David. But yeah, at the minute, very USA. But the version that I've got has only got 2 voices and they're both Americanized. One female, one male. Harry Ramsden's Dwyle. Legendary. I remember growing up going to Harry Ramsden's near Birmingham Airport, actually, for some fish and chips. Absolute cracker. So new QNH 1010, we are VRF radio, altitude set, the ILS is a set, so 110.9, 110.9, nav 1 and 2, and 318 both on the box. So I'm going to flick that across to ADF1 to monitor the NDB at Leeds, and then we'll go from there. Well, I've got to think how many kilometres are actually miles now, because I work at miles. Rab says, ask her about the 737 MAX problems, that'll blow her up. I feel like we've asked too many random questions. Oh, goose fat, best fish and chips. I'd imagine that's pretty cool. Can you tell me some information about the Boeing 737 MAX 9 plug door? Surely she doesn't know. Surely that's not in the database. It's so recent. $20,000? I reckon too recent. I don't really know how it works. I don't know if they need to put the data in which case you can kind of go from there. The developer is saying, by the way, folks, just pinged on Discord. I don't know if they're in the live chat or not. Say hello if you are, because people will be able to ask you questions. Saying there, that they intend to integrate flight plans. So she'll know the METARs and the QNHs for our flight plan, and then later they'll let her know the METAR by any location. So currently, it's the version that we've got works 50 nautical miles, sorry, 50 kilometres from our current position. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit, Andrew. Trent Tipple, some decel points there, so it'll be 10,000. I can't think if I've forgotten anything because it's been so while. It's such a long time since we last flew this aircraft. But I think we're kind of there. I think we've tackled everything. Then be at 7-1 then to finals. Or final, rather. That used to be a real pet peeve of my flying instructor, calling it finals. It's not plural, it's just one final. Bing, bing. Get the seatbelt signs on. And a little recall before we dip into the clouds. Before we do, we'll pop the anti-ice and stuff on. She's confused and then fainted, Doc says, from that question. Or thought I can't answer because I'm worried about legal repercussions. Doc is saying, can she understand languages other than English? That I'm not sure, actually, to be fair. I'm not sure. Grass says my instructor used to do the same. Think finals referred to the amount of final actions required. Fly Tim says so true, Luke. Finals is a pet hate of mine too. Yeah, it's always final. Final, runway 32, or whatever it might be. Let's get rid of the music. Try ask in French, Doc says. What can I don't know French. Oh, I wish I knew. Rab's overhead East Midlands Airport at the moment. We're over the Trent VOR. Let's get, where is it? Confirm the switches first. Wing anti-ice, engines 1 and 2 on. Got TCAS alert for somebody 1,000 foot above. It's about to zip into us, I think. Apparently very close. Oh yeah, one right there, chuffing neck. Bonjour, Bordeaux, Rab says. Let's try bonjour, ça va then. Bonjour, ça va? I think it's gone to chuffing sleep again, hold on. FS add-ons, so I have to close it and run it again. Crikey. Female. There we go. Right, anyway, coming up now to Denby. Let's think about cloud. We've got one right. Where's that aeroplane gone? Oh, chopping neck. There's one right there. Oh, hold on. There's one right there as well. My goodness. Need a flow widget to wake up the bot, David says. I know. $13,000. Beautiful, smooth, continuous descent here. Let's go direct to the final approach then. And Leeds Bradford traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo, 10 track miles south of Denbigh, turning direct to final approach, heading 020 degrees, Leeds. Suspected spam caller. Not now. Flying a plane. So hopefully this will give us some separation from whoever it was behind us. Who are now going to go off that way. There we go. It's an Osprey. Can you do a very short descent announcement for the passengers in the back? Kevin R, welcome aboard.
Ladies and gents, this is your Captain Propeller speaking from the front office. We're about to lower this big bird slightly smoother than dropping an anchor into a hot tub. Seatbelts on, trays up, and brace for a descent more thrilling than a roller coaster ride. Thank you for flying at VATSIM, where our descents are just as monumental as our ascents.
There you go, got a descent announcement. What are the weather conditions at Leeds Bradford Airport? 30 track miles, folks.
Looking at the magic crystal ball called METR, we see that Leeds Bradford Airport, ICAO code Echo Golf November Mike, is currently experiencing a whimsical breeze at a speed of 24,015 kt, a bit of drizzle, DZ, and scattered clouds at 1,600 feet, broken clouds at 2,200 feet. The temperature is a crisp 9 degrees C, while the dew point is at 6 degrees C. Barometric pressure reads Q1010. In other words, it's a great day to be in the air, but remember to pack your umbrella if you're planning to stroll around the tarmac.
Yeah, probably not Dwal. I don't think it'll have VATSIM awareness as such. What are the winds at Leeds Bradford for runway 32?
A question about the winds, my favorite meteorological small talk. The winds at Leeds Bradford Airport, ICAO code Echo Golf. November Mike for runway 32 are blowing from 240 degrees at 15 knots. That's about as soft as a feather falling onto a marshmallow cushion. Remember, in aviation, we're not just defying gravity, we're also taming breezes.
Line up ILS runway 32.
Very good. We've got a little bit of a wind readout. We've asked about the QNH, it's given us that.
The last traffic is about Denbigh, you're only a mile behind me.
Got a lot flying into Leeds at the moment. The new Leeds Bradford by inibuilds as well, folks. If you're just tuning in, wondering what we're about to fly into, the Peace Soup above Leeds.
Leeds traffic, Osprey 490 is 6.5 miles from Denbigh. ILS 32.
So we've got speed brake in-flight detents. Just going to round off that descent a little bit here.
Indeed, we do have speed brakes in-flight detents.
Ooh.
These are handy systems that allow pilots to increase the drag on an aircraft during flight, helping us slow down without needing to decrease the engine power or pitch the nose up. Think of it as letting your kite ride the wind, but with a little less strain. Just a gentle tug and voila, we're cruising nice and slow. It's like putting the brakes on a roller coaster, but with a bit more finesse. Want more info, or shall we chat about another feature of our magnificent flying machine?
Into the cloud. So this little shortcut to Denby's probably done us a little bit here. So I'm going to put flaps 1 out, speeds below 250, so we can do that. And that's going to now increase drag on the aircraft, and I'm hoping that then means we can slow down, and then also that means that we can then get that nose down a bit more, keep the rate of descent going, because at the minute we're a bit high. There we go. So we've got speed brake extended. That shortcut just to get traffic separation there is what we've done. Now there are lots of options for Leeds Bradford. We've got Orbx version 1 for quite a basic version. We've got their new version 2 which has come out a little while ago, about a year or so now. Into the cloud we go. Let's see what signs and icing. There we go, and lights configured. So we're going to pop the ignition mode to continuous as well through the clouds, just in case, because we're on to final approach imminently as well. Here we go. Kevin says landing winds up to 30 knots, almost crashed. Standard pressure, a little lower than we go. High to low, down you go. Leeds Bradford, traffic Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo 737-800, QNH 1010, 5 track miles south of the ILS. Will report establishing ILS 32 Leeds Bradford traffic. Speed's 200 knots now.
Leeds Bradford traffic, Yankee, short follow runway 323 miles, final Leeds Bradford.
Okay, speed brake retracted, 200 knots, flap 5. Into the cloud brake. Aaron, nice. We'll go for 180 knots because we'll be coming into 8 miles now imminently. Speed looks good, so I'm going to go heading select mode. So version 1 to version 2, Tim, I think the upgrade price is about £5 roughly. If you own inibuilds Heathrow or Stansted or Southampton, however, there's a code which gets you 10% off inibuilds Leeds Bradford, which makes the total price of that as a new product or new scenery about, well, just a few pounds. It's about £10. So actually, if you're going from Orbx version 1 to a more modern version, then I personally would recommend going straight to inibuilds inibuilds Leeds Bradford Airport as a option. That would be what I would suggest to do. If you've already got Orbx version 2, however, then I don't think the changes are that good in comparison to warrant or justify the cost. Flaps 15 gear down. Check the overhead panel, that's all good. (61.3) 30.44. 160. Leeds Bradford traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo's established ILS 32, 7 miles. Look at that crosswind, folks. Jeez. 160. And we'll go for flap 30.
We're about 8 miles before joining the ILS for runway 32.
Speed brakes armed, auto brake max, park brakes off, flaps set 30 green, and gear down 3 green. We're on the glide, and we've got CMD A and B engaged. Final check of the recall, check of the ignition switches. Look at this, folks. Yeah, my short summary, Tim, would be if you've got Orbx version 1 where you don't have a payware Leeds Bradford but you want one, inibuilds is the one you want. If you've got Orbx version 2 then there's no point you paying to upgrade. There's the runway, and look at that compared to track versus heading. Track versus heading. Those of you flying in behind me, you can expect 42 knot crosswinds. So get ready for it. 160, 143, was it 144? Ellen Road on your right, yes it was, wasn't it? That's, where has it gone? Let's see if we can spot it. Back there, wasn't it? We passed it now. Alrighty, so in fact let's get control visualizer off for a second. 37 knot crosswind. I just wanted to get a screenshot there of that. The wind was fun, happy landing from Ryanair 3 Papa Yankee. Definitely pooped myself thinking there was some ATC online there, thank you. My throttles. Leeds Bradford traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo, short final runway 32 Leeds. 30 knot crosswinds, let's fight it. First time landing on 3-2 actually, I think. Hey. Just for you guys behind at Leeds, 1,000 feet MSL, 30 knot crosswind, left to right.
Oh, this should be fine.
Here we go. Jesus.
Leeds traffic, East Eastern Upper, we're 8 miles and slowing down for the Osprey in front for 3-2.
Touch and go. And Ryanair 4 Kilo Bravos go around. Gear up. Flat 15.
Good luck everyone. Osprey 5 miles an hour.
We'll set 150, 180. Lever off. Right, I'll bust that. Sort this out. CMD. I don't know if you saw that, folks. There was a couple of compounding errors there from me, but it was. I was almost going to actually commit to it, and then I thought, no, you know what? I've gone past the touchdown zone, haven't I? So missed approach, go around, and it got a little unstable. You saw how much the wind, the kind of flaps and things were thrown around there as well. Master caution. Air conditioning. Be off schedule descent. That's fine. Disregard. Clear that, drag required. Flaps 5, we'll hold that. Ammo ATC, welcome. 138 is what we'll set for now. So back into here, we want runway 32, transition LBA. Execute that. VNAV disconnects. Air conditioning off scheduled descent. Just want to get back towards the NDB. You know, a lot of cloud here.
Osprey 490 is clear of 3G.
Nice, it's got down.
Leeds traffic, 2 miles, runway 32.
Speeds 180. Look at that weather. Chuffing neck. Orbx gone disarmed. Interesting. Let's get this on the turn. And Leeds Bradford traffic, we're on F41 Kilo Bravo's over the field, outbound 154 track to give it another go. We'll report establishing Leeds traffic.
Leeds traffic, Osprey 490, backtrack 32.
I don't think it has that awareness, if that makes sense.
Traffic.
That's fine, he's away and out the way.
Leeds traffic, vacated 32.
There he is, visual and clear. Just trying to work out who we might have around us now. I think that's Chanix 53 Whiskey Tango. Can you give me a wind check at Leeds Bradford Airport?
Of course. A quick gander at the windsock tells us that Leeds Bradford Airport, ICO code Echo Golf, November Mike, is currently experiencing wind from 240 degrees at a gusting 28 knots. So, a bit like bulls in a china shop, it's a bit of a wild party out there. Be sure to secure your hat upon disembarking.
Leeds traffic, Limoges Bravo protection to holding point Delta 1, runway 32 via Alpha and Delta.
Right, we go. So that's how the auto brakes, folks, are disarmed. So manual braking for this potentially. We'll leave it set to max just to see what it gives us in a moment. Go 050. Nice patch of clear skies, and we'll pop the engine and wing anti-ice off for this next approach. That's all good, that's all set. Final call to the crew once again. $10 miles. Ah, chuffing it, overshoot. Bad drills from me. See if we can salvage it. Get down flat 15. Got a few miles to re-establish anyway by that final approach marker. And we want 318 set for heading. And we'll just see what it does in a moment. Approach, CMDB, 160. Gear down flat 15, 3 green. Recall, master caution, and that's the off-schedule descent. $160. What have we got here? We'll go for 150 knots this time. Leeds Bradford traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo's established 8 miles ILS 32. Leeds. Again, big cross section here, the winds, look at that, 268, 47. Single channel approach, that's good, 3 and 160. We'll start to reduce to final approach speeds, flaps 30 in green. I'm going to do 150 knots this time, and there's the glide slope. So just a smidge above VREF this time. Lock and glide slope. Into some low vis once again. 305. Okay, auto brake max can be set again now. We've just given it a minute with the gear down to reset, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Speed brakes armed, and we are ready for number 2. Okay. I've never seen good weather in Leeds. Imagine living there, he says.
Leeds traffic, Airline Bravo will be lining up and backtracking behind the landing, Ryanair. Leeds Bradford.
Can you give the passengers a very short go-around announcement to tell them it's all safe? Let's see what it does here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Propeller speaking. We're about to perform a maneuver known as a go-around. It's a bit like doing a U-turn in the sky. Don't worry, this is a standard procedure and everything is under control. It's just our way of saying, nice runway, but we'll take another look. So sit back, enjoy the bonus airtime, and thank you for choosing the skies with us.
None of 9 videos, welcome aboard. That's looking pretty good. Whopper of a crosswind. Gate 3 might work for me, Ramp says. Let's go auto throttle off. Autopilot off. Leeds traffic, Ryanair 41 Kilo Bravo, short final 3-2.
1000.
Speed's good. Position is good. A little bit of fiddler with the trim. 25 knot crosswind left to right. And yeah, no butter, this sort of stuff. You try and butter your float, you overshoot, all the rest of it. Just want to be firm, that's all I want to be. Got a, it looks like a TUI on the whole point there. Wind check 30 knots almost, we're gusting 30, dropping then all of a sudden. Christ. Yeah, incredibly turbulent.
Plus 100.
Looking ahead, watching that depth perception, big gust there. Woof.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And down. Reverse green. Max order brake. Solid on the brakes. Decelerate into vacate.
Nice landing.
Wind check for any short finals and takeoff as 20, gusting 30, left to right. Leeds. That was stressful.
The traffic airline to Bravo lining up and backtracking.
And on that note,
over 90% of our flights arrived on time. We hope you enjoyed yours, and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon. Ryanair, low fares, made simple.
346 foot per minute apparently on the touchdown. Oh, commercial apron, it doesn't give us any options. What do we got? I've got 1 or 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 as you can see there. Touchdown by the way, there's the map. Almost on the centre line. Right on the edge of that touchdown zone I had one little bar left, which is why we went around last time and aborted. But 1.3 G, I'm actually really happy with that. Gate 9 if available, Doc says. Let's head round the corner and find out. Gate 3 I can't select RAB, that's the problem. We'll go for 9. Can you do a cabin announcement to the passengers after landing, please? Let's get AI working.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Propeller breaking the silence like a poem in the sky. We've just touched down smoother than a chocolate mousse dessert, and we've now safely landed. We hope you've enjoyed your flight as much as we've enjoyed flying this metal tube through the air. As you leave us, don't forget any personal belongings or unfinished in-flight snacks. There's no lost and found.
Okay, well, that's full. So
thank you for soaring the skies
Gate
with
6.
Air Awesome, and we hope to welcome you on board again soon for more skyward adventures.
No.
Please remember,
Gate
walk
7,
and don't run
Gate
to the
8.
exit. There's no prize for being first out.
Can't do 8 either. I'll do 6.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
Don't have any other options. Swissport, what are you saying? Keep it turning. We'll have a look at the inibuilds Leeds in a second. We've actually nice weather as well. Once we've parked. Yeah, I will hit that wing dock, but it's flight sim. And they've also parked slightly to the edge. They'll probably have a different scenery. So I'm not too worried about that. Better than not parking at all.
Leeds traffic 105, push back to stand 9, Leeds.
Oh, chuffy neck. I could have done stand 9. Oh look, there's an animated baggage hall there. Brakes! What have we got here? That's all looking good. Swish, swish, swish. Fuel cut-offs. Anti-collision lights, seatbelts. Do you like Yorkshire tea?
This parking is too small for your aircraft. The boarding requested.
Well, as a sophisticated flight simulator assistant, I don't have the capability to taste or consume any physical items, including
Let's look at
Yorkshire
New
tea,
Sky.
But I can tell you that it's a splendid choice among many pilots.
And our score
Nothing
for that
beats a good
touchdown.
cuppa while soaring above the clouds.
Ooh.
Now, how can I assist you further with our virtual flying
Got a 10.
journey?
Happy with that. Especially after that go around. Very small balance profit there for us, but that's all good. Happy with that either way. That's got a 10 there. Good touchdown indeed. Thank you very much. Right, where are we? So we're disembarking and let's tour the airport. Is that Discover Airlines there? That's pretty cool if it is.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Ah, look at that, we're fine. It's a perfect fit. It is Discover. Very swish. With a Ryanair there as well. Can't work out if that's a static. It looks like it is. That would be really annoying if it is. I'd imagine they've got a toggle switch for it though. Not sure. It's a bit hard to tell actually. It's too weird. Anyway. While the punters leave, welcome to inibuilds Leeds Bradford International Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm interested to hear your thoughts as we compare against maybe the Orbx version if you've got a few. I think maybe just an incredibly busy airport then. Not statics they say there. I didn't think there were statics. There's the windsock giving us an idea of those gusts. Absolutely whipping away that windsock. In the background over there, a big old windmill. I say a windmill, it's a wind turbine to be precise. I think we'll explore with these conditions and then we'll kind of snap to a better day, do you reckon? Or do you all just want to see us go to good conditions now? Let me know in the chat. We'll work with whatever you want. And we can ask Avimate, the Chat GPT powered AI co-pilot, for some information about Leeds perhaps as well. How many passengers fly out of Leeds Bradford every year? Not heavy at all, Aviate from DK, but then I've got an RTX 4090.
I'm afraid I can't provide real-time statistics as my systems are focused on enhancing your flight simulation experience. However, based on historical data, Leeds Bradford Airport, Echo Golf November Mike, usually sees over 4 million passengers per year. It's a bit like a never-ending social gathering in the sky. For the most accurate figures, I recommend checking the airport's official statistics or contacting them directly. Now, shall we return to our airborne journey?
Oh, it's kind of a trick. I was expecting to come out the other side then. That's great to see though, isn't it? When you're pulling up on stand and you can see them just moving about. That's really, really neat. Gives you that added little nod to immersion there.
Leeds traffic, Gen X185 taxi to Delta 1 by Alpha.
An official GSX profile is included. You can get it via the Ini Manager. And you can see there at this walk-in stand, they are moving into the terminal, following all the stairs and heading off to arrivals, which is really cool to see actually, really, really cool to see. We can head up into the tower while we're here. Beautifully detailed. Yeah, Orbx version 1 has got nothing on this. This is a stunning bit of scenery. I think the argument for me is if you've already got Orbx version 2, I don't think you necessarily need to pay for a second Leeds Bradford unless you're going to use it a lot and it's perhaps your home airport or something like that. That's when it's really noticeable the differences here. This is a lot better than Orbx version 2. It's more of a query in relation to whether or not you need a second version of the same product or the same airport. That's kind of the query really. Let's go to better weather. Clear skies. So we can see some texturing a bit more. we can pop in. If you own inibuilds Heathrow or Stansted or Southampton, Tim, you can use a special code. It's on their website, I think, and on their Discord server. It gets you 10% off the purchase price of this, and it brings it down to about £11, which is a wonderful price. Pretty much, I think, the same price, if not slightly less than what Orbx offer for their version 2 if you bought it outright.
105 entry back track for 32 Leeds.
Beautiful interior. And there we kind of go through to nothing. What have we got here? Ah, it's the entrance. Hergy, let's ask Avimate. Can you tell me a great Yorkshire Sunday roast recipe?
Absolutely ready to assist, but I'll need a bit more detail. What would you like to know? Perhaps a good joke about propellers. Nah. Isn't it great soaring the skies in a virtual wonder? I'm glad you think so too. Remember, in this flight simulation, the sky isn't the limit, it's home. Now, how else may I assist you in our airborne adventure?
Bing! Look at that. That is stunning. It's my favourite time of day and night. This kind of twilight zone in the sim. This is a beautiful bit of kit here. Matthew, good morning. Yeah, there's the Burger King again. Look at this. Pepperoni bacon whopper. Art Attack on a plate. World Duty Free. We've already gone through some of that, haven't we? Let's pop over to the carvery that Aviation Simulation's on about. But first, I just want to have a little look at the apron lighting. Click that again, make sure the flow wheel goes. Delta Tango, welcome. Looks like the Discover's pushed back as well. They've done a lovely job of this. Look at that.
And Leeds, traffic channel X1X5 taking off runway 32 Nelson 3 Whiskey Leeds.
Really nice. Got one taking off.
Leeds traffic, Ryanair 2 Romeo X-ray, returning left base, runway 32, Leeds Bradford.
Where is the carvery Aviation Simulation next to runway 14? I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised if they've put that in, to be fair. Let's go back to live weather for this takeoff, shall we? Look at that undulation of the runway there. All the bumpiness. Which makes it tricky for the takeoff, with the landing, sorry, because as we were flaring earlier, the runway's actually going down away from us, which makes it tough. That's why we ended up overshooting that touchdown zone, jamming the throttles forward to abort the landing and try again. There's the counting to wind. Whoa! Jesus! Look at that! Well saved. There's the windsock again, just for a reminder of the current weather here at Leeds. Absolutely shocking. Is it Toby Carvery I'm looking for? One would assume it's over here, but no. In effect, they don't have the Toby Carvery. Let's head over to the jet centre. Ah, there's a little bridge over here as well. Look at this. Meridian. Meridian granite. Little tunnel goes underneath. Not the best texture there, but it's not a thing that you're going to look at much, is it? Gives you a great overview here of the airport. There's multi-flight.
Leeds traffic, Irving 6 Tango Lima, taxiing holding point runway 32 via Alpha Charlie November and Delta. Leeds traffic.
Leeds traffic.
The cavalry's through the tunnel on a roundabout.
We are on a 12-mile final runway 32. Leeds.
It sounds very specific. Oh, I can't see any roundabouts. I don't know the area. Through tunnel. Oh, hold on. It looks like Hergy's got to go out and buy. That's the cavalry. Hergy, get that order in, son. I'm not buying if there's no cavalry. You need to stick to my Orbx version 2. Too late. There's a cavalry. And as well, we've got the industrial estate here, just in the background. Matthew says, love a bumpy runway, especially love a sudden drop in the pavement 1,700 feet down the runway that ruins a nice landing. Cough, cough, Dallas, Fort Worth. 17 left. Need more use of some bulldozers. Cracking little airport this, actually. A hell of a lot better than Orbx version 2. Just a little bit more polish and shine with the airport layout and the textures and everything else. Overall, a beautiful little package. Very small regional airport, very niche, I guess you could argue. I want to see a little bit more of the inside, so let's just venture back in a wee bit. Check-in zones there for Jet 2. Beautiful textures. Hit Travelex, get that coin in. All gates. Self-service check-in. I'm just following the signs really. So the gates will take you through there, which we can't quite get into. I don't know where arrivals is. I suppose they've only modelled the edges of the arrivals in there for us, so we can see on this side the kind of baggage reclaim halls.
Leeds traffic, Irving 6 Tango Lima, holding short runway 32, awaiting the...
So we can see it from the apron side, but that's good enough, I guess, isn't it? Got some on final here. Let's watch a touchdown before we end today. There's the touchdown zone. The Discover Airlines there is waiting, and that's the end of the touchdown zone. So what have we got wind-wise? It's going to position into wind. It's going to be this way toward... Actually, it's blowing across, so yeah, sorry. This way. So there's the touchdown zone. Let's wait for him to appear. There's no arrivals as it's always too windy to land, Tim says. Yeah, could end up having to divert to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, like a lot of people did a little while ago. Do you want to ask any final questions of Avimate, folks, the Chat GPT powered co-pilot we've been previewing and playing around with today? Here he comes. Do you see those lights? Aviation related, Dirty too.
Leeds traffic, Ryanair, 2 room X-ray, short final runway 32 Leeds.
Oh my goodness, look at that. There's the crosswind, folks, in action. Can you tell me if there is any VATSIM controllers online at Leeds Bradford? There we go, I've asked it, Obi Kenobi. Oh! Onto the downhill at the touchdown zone.
Leeds traffic, Irving 6 Tango
Fear not, my
Lima.
young Skywalker.
Tracking back runway 32.
Currently, based on the data stream I have, I'm unable to determine if there are any VATSIM controllers online at Leeds Bradford, ICO Code Echo Golf November Mike.
There you go, it doesn't know.
However, I recommend checking the VATSIM site or controller client for the most accurate and up-to-date information. Remember, the Force is always with you in the air, whether there are controllers online or not. Is there anything else I can assist you with on this virtual flight of ours?
Yeah, so it doesn't know, but it said look at the VATSIM website. So there is an awareness of what VATSIM is, which is quite cool. That's a great effort there for the touchdown, isn't it?
Leeds traffic, Ryanair 2 Romeo X-ray, returning around here at code 2. Leeds traffic.
Right, there we go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed I was going to say the final stream of the week, but actually we're touching into the new week now, aren't we? inibuilds Leeds Bradford Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The PMDG 737-800 once again, for almost a 2-month gap since we last flew her, and the special in-development preview version of Avimate coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I hope you guys have all enjoyed being able to interact with live throughout today's journey as well. Leeds Bradford is available on the inibuilds website and Avimate at avimate.io. If you want to have a look at their Discord server, I'll put the link once more in the live chat for you to monitor. Hit like and subscribe before you head off. Big thanks as always to our channel members, bronze, silver, gold, frequent flyers. You know who you are, for supporting the channel, and those of you who flew along as well. Appreciate all of the support too. In the meantime, as always, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you on the other side. Either a Saturday or Sunday live stream, I'm not sure which. I've asked for annual leave, basically to save doing more night shifts, but stay tuned, and hopefully we'll get some more information soon. In the meantime, as always, happy flying,
Tango Lima, taking off runway 32.
and I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Captain Propeller signing off. Thank you for choosing to fly through the virtual skies with us here at Air Awesome. Remember, in our world, the sky isn't just the limit, it's home.